Hey, what's going on, people? This is Chris here once again with another film review. This time I'm talking about a movie called Monster. I think it's from 2003, and this movie is based on the life of serial killer Eileen Wuornos, which is considered the first female serial killer. She started killing in the 90s, had a rough childhood, a rough upbringing, and she turned to prostitution and was a druggie, and just a very interesting story. So Monster is about her life, um, well, her life as a hooker, and then what led to her arrest, and what led to her relationship with her girlfriend, and her rocky relationship with her girlfriend, and yeah. So the Eileen Wuornos is played by Charlize Theron, and which, by the way, I have to say, Charlize Theron, like, she really redid her whole look for this role, and it looks weird, like, to me. I didn't think, it was all that necessary because, Charlize Theron is pretty good looking, But anyways, whatever. I think it was just, just to get into character and to make the character more believable. Her acting was good though. I'm not gonna say it could have been better, but it was good for the character she was playing. Um, and then we also have Christina Ricci, which plays the girlfriend of Eileen Wuornos, which I think they changed her name though to Selby or something from the real person's name. And so we have, basically what happened when she was hooking, and you know like all the murders that happened when she was hooking. I don't want to say too much, but if you haven't seen the or heard about the Eileen Wuornos case, then this is a good way to kind of get to know. Or you might want to watch, a documentary about that, then watch Monster. But I think you could watch Monster and then watch the documentary too if you want. Because the documentary provides a lot of information that this movie doesn't. This movie only focuses on like the killings, the prostitution, and her arrest. But there's way more to this story. Um, you know, there is way more. But like I said, if you don't want me, to spoil it or whatever, or if you don't know about the Eileen Wuornos case, then it's probably a good idea to check it out beforehand. Or either way, it's still an interesting and fascinating story. Um, so the movie's almost like 2 hours long, and let's see. I mean, it did drag, but the acting is very good, and this movie got like Academy Award nominations too, man. Um, there's very believable crying in here. you know, um, I don't know. I liked it, man. I hadn't seen this movie in a while. I saw it like way back, probably when it came out, and I didn't really remember parts of it. I just knew that it was about Eileen Wuornos, but I forgot what had happened, or I forgot about that case, until I recently started watching these documentaries about it. And this movie actually got me watching the documentaries because I watched this and then I started thinking about the case, and all the crazy shit that happened. But yeah, man, this is like one of the first women serial killers, of the '90s, and man, this chick was crazy. But if you really look at her childhood and her history, then you kind of think, well, there are certain factors that kind of connect with why she was the way she was. But yeah, man, good story, good movie. Oh yeah, and the director of this movie, I didn't even realize until I looked it up, was Patty Jenkins, man. Patty Jenkins, the same director that directed Wonder Woman. Now, this movie, Monster and Wonder Woman, are two very different films, and it was a trip to know that that was the same director that directed fucking Wonder Woman, man. That's crazy. That was a trip. I was like, holy shit. She went from Monster to directing these other movies, then Wonder Woman. What a, shit. That's crazy. But she's a good director, though. I mean, you could clearly see in this movie. And then for anybody that watched Wonder Woman, I thought it was a good movie. Um, I thought Wonder Woman was really like kind of overrated, but anywho, yeah, I definitely recommend you guys watch Monster. It's an old movie, but if you haven't seen it, it's still pretty good, dramatic. There's very dramatic scenes and very good acting, I must say. Even for Christina Ricci, which I'm not really a big fan of, but she pulled it off, man. This is one of like her best movies, I think. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.